Well, g'day fishers, welcome to our New Year report. Happy New Year to everybody. We survived. We're back in the new year again, and the fishing is looking unreal. Has been unreal this week despite a little bit of weather. Weekend's not looking too bad. Saturday, a little bit of wind. Sunday's good. Monday's glamour, you beauty. Might be a fishing day right there. Tuesday looks good. The whole week next week looks really, really good. So finally, some good weather about and not much rain. So there we go. Now the fishing inside the bay, it has been sensational. Lots of sand whiting around, big sand whiting. So if you're keen on doing that, any of the beaches from Nelson Bay up to Soldiers Point, likewise on the other side of the bay around Jimmy's and up to Tarlee, fishing really well for whiting at the moment. Live worms are definitely the go. So just get those incoming tides. We've got some good incoming tides at the moment. Fish those tides, light sinkers, light leaders, and away you go. So that's the red hot tip whiting are biting at the moment. The breakwater at Nelson Bay, hive of activity. There's been mulloway, there's been kingies. There's even been good flatties down there as well. So if you're keen on fishing the breakwater at Nelson Bay, it'd be good tides to do that this weekend. Likewise with the wharf up behind Bannister's Hotel there at Soldiers Point. It's been fishing really well, so great for the kids there, especially in the southerly winds, not as too bad as those northeasters that we had last week. There's been plenty of good whiting up there. There's even been a couple of small mulloway, some bream and flatties up that way, so definitely worth a shot. If you've got the boat in the water, then definitely there's been some good mulloway actually caught this week. I spoke to Dan, he got a nice fish out the back of Soldiers Point there. It'd be worth fishing out the front of Fame Cove. Even the good old salamander wreck fishes really well this time of year. So we've got plenty of fresh squid in stock all the time now. If not, you can get some live herring around the wharf there as well. Fishing for flatties, Tilligary's been fishing pretty well for flatties. So too the entrance of the Karua, so definitely worth a shot there. Special mention to young Maddie throwing some swim baits around. Actually caught a mulloway, small mulloway, in about 4 foot of water. So that's an exceptional capture on a swim bait, especially in those shallow flats, aiming up on flatties. So definitely a good capture for sure. So that's what's happening in the bay at the moment. Definitely worth a fish in the bay. Now the rock fishing's been a little bit hit and miss, and that's only because the swell's been up. So we've got a bit of swell, but that water's going to push it in there. I think by sort of Sunday it'll fish really well. Definitely worth fishing those points, having a spin for Bonito. Bonito has started to definitely turn up. The Ocean Legacy slingshot's been doing really well on the Bonito off the rocks. So if you're keen on having a spin, a few kings around as well. So definitely worth a shot there with that clearer water. At the moment, a few other species around, but definitely worth spinning off the rocks this time of year. On the beaches, well, when the swell calms down, it'll definitely be worth a shot at whiting. There's been some really good whiting, especially up Fingal, Samurai when the northerly's blowing, and obviously 1 Mile, and also Berrubi. Just check with National Parks to see when they open the beach up just with that swell this week. So check that out at the moment. And definitely worth a mulloway this weekend when that swell backs off. We've got some really good tides going to dark there, and I'd be sort of fishing up towards Hawk's Nest and Bennett's Beach at the moment. So definitely worth a shot. Offshore, well, there's been some really good fish caught. I spoke to Al Wilson there. He's got some really nice reds out in 70 to 80 metres. There's also been a mixture of mulloway and trag out there. The 21, the big gibber, the V, all holding really good trag at the moment. Nelson Bay Charter's been fishing really well. So too, Bradoff Pacific Blue getting some really nice fish as well. So definitely worth a shot on the trag at the moment. Some good kings around. Neil got an absolute beauty during the week, 15 kilos. Slow trolling some slimies up around the sisters there. So some good kings about at the moment. It'd be worth having a stick bait up at Edith as well when that swell backs off. At the moment, front of Fingal, if you want to anchor up at the front of Fingal after this wash, definitely get in there around the bommies, get a good burley trail going, float some pillies back in there, and you'll get some good reds out the front of Fingal, especially first light will be the go, and get a good burley trail happening there. So too, down off Little Rocky, that always fishes well, hard in that 20 metre area. Fishes really well down a burley trail for snapper this time of year. You also get a few mulloway in that little gutter there too in 21 metres, so definitely worth putting a live bait down, especially if you're going to fish the Arvo into the dark, that's for sure. But the big news is that there's been a few marlin around. There's both been on the shelf. The guys and girls on Rack 'em Up got some nice striped marlin during the week there. The boys on Dynamic got a nice blue marlin. So George actually weighed a nice fish there the other day. So there's been some blues on the shelf, some stripes on the shelf. Also a couple of blacks on the shelf. There's also been some blacks on the inshore as well. Not many, 1 or 2 a day. I spoke to the boys on Calypso. They went 2 from 2 the other day. Steve Marshall fishing on Moving On went 2 the other day as well. So who knows what this Sudley's going to bring. We'll wait and see what happens. There's also been some good dollies about as well, especially on the fads. Lots of little kingies there as well. I know it's been annoying anglers with live baits, but I reckon if you troll some skirts, you know, sort of a mile either side of the fads there, I reckon you'll do all right on the dollies as well. So it's all starting to heat up this weekend. Into next week's definitely going to be see what happens. I reckon there's going to be a few fish caught next week. Good weather. That water would have pushed in with the Sudley as well. There's a good zero line starting to come down up the top there. So I think it's just about to go bang. So we'll give it a shot on those smaller fish on the inshore. So definitely worth a shot on the marlin when that water definitely moves in, I think, next week. All in all, looks really, really good. I think the fishing is going to be red hot over the next week. So get out there and get amongst it.